I am a part-time stay-at-home mom, and I work part-time outside of the home. I am an aspiring special education teacher, and I have walked all different paths of birth, from epidural to induction to all natural. My name is Chelsea, and I'm a miraculous mama.
Everybody, welcome back to the Miraculous Mamas podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Joy, and I'm so glad that you are here with us. We are a podcast that believes in empowering women through storytelling and education. I cannot wait to bring you the guest today. But before then, guys, Merry Christmas. This is the week of Christmas, and I feel like it snuck up on me. I had so much already done and planned and organized before Thanksgiving. And I was like, I have time. It's not even December yet. Then all of a sudden it's here. And I feel like it's because Thanksgiving was so late this year. It was so late in the year. And so it just crept up on me. And all of a sudden it's here. It's like, what? But I mean, that happens all the time. I'm so excited for the new year too. I would love for you guys to send in some of your New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be reading some of them next week for the episode, where we're going to probably have a little bit of a shorter episode, share with you guys a company that's just doing really cool things to empower girls. I want to read some resolutions to you guys and share some of that next week as we enter into the new year. And then this next year is just going to be awesome. I cannot wait to embark on this next year with you guys. You have been just such an awesome community. You have been my heart and soul this last year. And I just want you guys to know that I genuinely love you guys so, so much. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Before I have Dr. Axe on today, if you guys are still looking for any last minute shopping for Christmas, do not forget to check out Skylight. It is the touchscreen frame that I got for my mom, and she is loving it. She texted me the other day. She was like, remind everyone to send in more photos. So I did. She just had surgery, and so she's at home recovering. And like I've said before, my family's spread apart, and everyone can just send in photos to her, and they instantly pop up on her screen. So she's getting photos of all of her grandkids that are in 4 different states. Everybody's spread out, but she's able to stay connected with everyone this holiday season. And the Skylight promo code is MAMA. If you check out their website, and you get $10 off. Also, Legacy Box is an amazing idea of something to get your family, your parents, your spouse, help them organize their life together onto one thumbnail drive, or whichever option you choose. I know I have tubs of stuff, and I was able to go through one while I was at my parents' house, but I still have so much stuff. So I need to do this for myself. I got it from my parents before, and it was just awesome to organize your memories, have everything in one spot, since we all have DVDs, VHS, those little tiny cassette tapes. And if you go to Legacy Box's website, you can use the code MAMAS for 40% off. So those are 2 holiday ideas for you guys. If you are still doing any last minute shopping, check out our sponsors. They are awesome. They support our show, and you support this show by using our sponsors. When I talk to you guys about the sponsors that we have, and you are purchased from them, it helps us out so much. It's able to get us out there more. It's able to reach more people and continue to bring free education to you guys and amazing guests that come on. So thank you so, so much. All right. So today's guest is Dr. Josh Axe, and he is somebody who I have been following for quite a while. Just because I'm into the whole natural medicine thing. I think I first found him honestly on Pinterest because I was looking up a do-it-yourself recipe at home for something, and it was off of his website, and I just continued to find more things. Eventually, I now use his products from Ancient Nutrition, and he is awesome. But before I bring him on, I want to tell you guys a little bit about him. He and his wife Chelsea are amazing people too. They're super involved in the community and give back, and they're just awesome human beings. But Dr. Axe is a doctor of chiropractic, certified doctor of natural medicine, and a clinical nutritionist with a passion to help people eat healthy, and live a healthy lifestyle. In 2008, he started a functional medicine center in Nashville, which grew to become one of the most renowned clinics in the world. He founded the website draxe.com, which is one of the top natural health websites in the world today. I seriously go there for so many things. It's awesome. And he'll talk about his website a little bit today because he mentions so many things to check out on there. He talks about nutrition, natural medicine, fitness, healthy recipes, do-it-yourself remedies, and just tons more. He has a bunch of editors. He's also an author. He's an amazing author. I have one of his books. He told me about another one today, which I didn't know was out there, which is surprising that I'm going to have to get. But he's so full of knowledge. He talks a lot today about Chinese medicine, and we ask him questions just about health. I asked him about fertility. He and his wife found out a while ago that they're pregnant. They announced it on social media not too long ago. And so I asked them what they did to prepare their bodies for pregnancy, since that is the journey that we are on. And I just truly, truly believe in preparing your body to try to conceive. We train for marathons. We go to school for careers. We study. And then when it comes to to having babies, there's just lack of information out there from our providers, from other resources telling us what we need to be doing to prepare ourselves, our bodies, entering into that next stage of life, because it really does take a lot on your health. It takes emotional strength, a lot of different things. So it's nice to just have these resources to be fully prepared stepping into that. But without further ado, Dr. Axe.
I have Dr. Axe here, who I'm super excited about. He and his wife just found out, well, I don't know when you found out. You just announced that you're having a baby, which is so exciting. Congratulations. And
hey, thanks. We're excited.
Yeah. And he is just doing so much work in the medical field. He believes in treating your body as a whole and healing, taking charge of your health and healing yourself. And I've been following his Instagram. I'm a huge fan of his product line, Ancient Nutrition, and he is here to talk to us about a lot of things that I wrote down and questions that I have. So thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I would love for you just to kind of tell us in your own words who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I'm Dr. Josh Axe. I run a natural health website called draxe.com, and I founded a nutrition company called Ancient Nutrition, and we offer the world's really healthiest superfoods in supplement form. So everything from collagen to bone broth to turmeric to ashwagandha to probiotics, omegas, multis, all that sort of stuff. And for me, my mission is to teach people how to use food as medicine. And so I do that through, my biggest area of study is probably a combination of Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, biblical medicine, and using these forms of ancient medicine to help people heal naturally. And so that's a big part of my mission. I used to run and operate a functional medicine clinic in Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I currently reside. But just really things started growing so much online. I started speaking so much that I really transitioned into full-time education and running our supplement company. So that's kind of where I am today.
Well, and it transitioned so quickly because there's such a need for it. Like when you start speaking about these alternative ways of maybe what we've been thinking for so long, people are like, oh, wait, I can take charge of my health. I can, learn how to live a healthy life and not have to continually go to the doctor to be subscribed for something. So the reason it boomed is there was such a need for what you were saying.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen as well. I really wanted to also make things really practical. So when I started my website about 10 years ago, I noticed that a lot of people were writing about turmeric or, chia seeds. But the thing I found was people were like, well, how do I use chia seeds? How do I use turmeric or get that in my daily diet? And so I started writing up recipes like for turmeric golden milk and how to make a chia seed smoothie or chia seed pudding and all kinds of stuff. And so for me, and I really learned this from working with patients. Patients wanted me to hold their hand and walk them through every step of, hey, how do I incorporate this into my busy life, my busy schedule? That's a big part of. But you're right. There are so many people today who still don't know the truth. Like I grew up in a family. We knew nothing about nutrition, nothing. And because of it, like we were on antibiotics all the time. We were sick all the time. And later on, like I got digestive issues from it. I had health problems. And then I was able to nurse myself back to health using food as medicine.
Right. Yeah. I would love to kind of go into, so since you and your wife, Chelsea, are now expecting, since you do use food as medicine, how did you guys prepare your bodies for that? Were you preparing to try to conceive health-wise?
We were, in a way. We already eat so healthy that, when I say, today we ate spaghetti squash with homemade grass-fed meatballs. And, tonight we're doing like veggies and hummus with salmon. We eat really healthy, but we were conscious. And so in Chinese medicine, from the female perspective, you really want to help support, so again, this is Chinese medicine, but you want to support your pancreas, also known as your spleen in Chinese medicine, and you also want to support your adrenals. And in Chinese medicine, in order to get pregnant, your adrenals need to be strong. In order to stay pregnant and to prevent things like miscarriage, you need to have your spleen and pancreas really strong. So at Chelsea, we were conscious of really giving her foods to support her adrenals and kidneys, according to Chinese medicine. And those foods are really nutrient-dense foods. It's blueberries, it's seaweed, it's spinach, it's green leafy vegetables and berries and things like that. So that really helps. But staying pregnant is really important as well. And that's called the earth element in Chinese medicine. So it's foods that are typically fall foods that are orange in color. So it's pumpkin, it's butternut squash, it's sweet potato, it's cinnamon, it's grass-fed beef. It's these, what we call comfort foods that you'd have around Thanksgiving or in the fall. And those are the sort of foods that really help nourish your pancreas and spleen. And we know your pancreas has a lot to do with insulin. And this is interesting as well. One of the conditions that is commonly associated and can affect fertility is called PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. And that's often been referenced to as essentially being an insulin issue. Okay. And I can tell you, working with thousands of patients, helping them overcome PCOS and improve their fertility, insulin is a really big deal. Well, insulin is a hormone associated with your pancreas. What a lot of people tend to do, as Elizabeth, is they'll either say, okay, they'll kind of ignore the problem and keep eating the way they're eating, or maybe they'll completely cut out sugar and do none. What your body is telling you, your pancreas likes things that are sweet. It's just we're giving it white sugar. What you should be doing is giving your pancreas just a small amount of like a half a sweet potato, which is a little bit sweet. Butternut squash soup, a little sweet. Pumpkin, pumpkin smoothie. Cinnamon, which is kind of like just a hint of sweetness. That really helps nourish your earth element in Chinese medicine. So at Chelsea, we had her eating all of these earth element foods and water element foods according to Chinese medicine that nourish specifically the adrenals and the pancreas. And if you think about this as well, and if people are new to Chinese medicine, the things if I use terms like qi and yin and yang, when I first heard those, I'm like, those seem weird. It's just a different language. And the way they explain things, it really connects with nature. And so all that being said, think about this. Your adrenals are like your body's battery. Now, if your body's battery is, and for a lot of people, is at 80%, 50, down at 30%, if your adrenal battery is down there at 30, 40%, your body is intelligent. So if you're trying to conceive and your battery's down at 40, your body is like, I've got to power this body and create a new human being. That's too much.
Yeah.
It can't do it. And so that's why keeping your adrenals strong, and it's called qi in Chinese medicine, which is just your energy, is so important to conception. And really, having a healthy pregnancy throughout the whole thing, it's really all about, you got to keep insulin balanced. Why is insulin important? Well, insulin is a hormone that affects every hormone in your body. Insulin affects your estrogen, your progesterone, your cortisol, your melatonin, all of these hormones. And so those are really, I think, key in terms of fertility. And I could also recommend there's some supplements my wife took. She really took astragalus, which is great for nourishing that earth element. So like astragalus and cinnamon are a great combination there. Herbs like ashwagandha, herbs like romania. in Chinese medicine are good. And then a lot of women, one other important thing, and this isn't for all women, but it's for some, is you want to make sure your blood is healthy and you have enough blood, because early in pregnancy, your body is creating a new organ. The placenta, your body's creating an organ and a human being. And a big part of that is made up of blood and collagen. Actually, the placenta is made up of a certain unique type of collagen. And so you want to support your blood as well. So make sure you're getting some red meat in your diet, like beef. If somebody doesn't eat beef, well, then taking herbs like dong quai, which is a natural blood builder, can be very, very good. And then eating foods like spinach and beets that also support blood building, I think, can be key as well.
Yeah. Well, I loved what you said about kind of being a battery and being low, because so my husband and I are at the point where we're trying, and but for his health, we've made some changes, because the life cycle of a sperm is about 90 days. So starting beyond that, just making some changes, because he likes some sweets and I'm giving him healthy alternatives, but he just eats what I cook him. So I'm like, here, take this, do that with everything.
Well, I can tell you things for guys as well after in a second as well.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the one thing though. So I've been on a health journey this year, just finding out with some food allergies and having a parasite and my hormones off. So it was important for me to replenish myself before we started trying because of those things. So I'm very thankful that I got some things tested, because I was dealing with a lot of inflammation in my gut that was putting stress on other organs, and just starting to really clean that out, which in return helped prepare my body for pregnancy, because of getting rid of the inflammation and my body actually being able to absorb nutrients and things like that. So it makes perfect sense what you're saying. Like, your body's like, we're about ready to exert all this energy on creating another life. We need our tank to be full.
Yeah, and most people get too technical with it. Our Western medicine has made it way too complicated. Is this certain hormone here? Or is this blood marker? Is this urine? Is this... And again, you got to understand your body is smart. Your body knows how to heal itself. Like, your body knows, I need to heal this area. Your body knows it needs to create a human being. But again, it will only do that if it knows it's capable of doing it.
Yeah, I love that. I would love for you, to give some tips for the men here.
Yeah, so for men, similar to women in terms of conception, men, the earth element, not as important, but the water element, or your adrenals and reproductive organs, that is key in conception with both women and with men. With men, a few things that are really helpful. And, in Chinese medicine, hypothyroidism is called a qi and a yang deficiency. Now, qi is like your body's, again, it's your energy, it's your adrenal battery, like on your phone. Where's that at? And then yang is kind of like, it's CrossFit, it's Olympic weightlifting, it's aggression, it's those sort of things. It's more it's male hormones, it's testosterone, it's adrenaline, it's all that stuff. Where yin is more yoga, meditation, feminine hormones, progesterone, estrogen. That's more yin. But just like different hormone imbalances or different deficiencies actually affect men and women differently. So where a woman with a low qi and yang deficiency ends up with hypothyroidism and adrenal fatigue, what a male ends up with is low testosterone, low libido, and issues with their own fertility, erectile dysfunction, those types of things. So for a male to really stimulate and strengthen qi and yang, herbs like ginseng, fenugreek is amazing. Fenugreek is kind of one of the epitomes of a qi and yang building herb. Ashwagandha is the herb that helps both men and women when it comes to this. But I would say, fenugreek, ginseng, ashwagandha. Now, the epitome in Chinese medicine, which unless somebody's over the age of 40, typically this isn't in dealing with extreme erectile dysfunction, I don't recommend this. But if they are, something like deer antler is something they can supplement with. But again, not necessary for most men. And then from a nutritional standpoint, zinc is very important. Consuming enough zinc. Zinc is important for sperm production. It's important for hormone balance, actually building muscle. And men also, during this time, they need to be getting good sleep. They need to be eating plenty of healthy fat and protein, low sugar. And they should be lifting weights, ideally. If they're able to do those things, they tend to have great for fertility for a really long period, portion of their life, and they'll feel more energized, more motivated, at the same time as well. So men who tend to struggle with lack of motivation, lack of purpose, just really they don't feel that vigor that they felt within their youth. A lot of times that's Western medicine calls it low testosterone. Typically, Chinese medicine calls it low qi. It's kind of the same thing, but those things will help. And men. And I'll say this too: the emotional aspect of our health is the other 50% in getting pregnant, and staying pregnant, and having a healthy birth. The whole process, because and this is important for our whole life, but emotions in Chinese medicine and biblical medicine and every form of ancient medicine, we know that certain emotions affect organs in different ways. For instance, the emotion, I'll give you an example of how this works on the whole scale. So the emotion of fear. Now, if a child gets really scared, they can wet the bed. We heard of that, right? A child has a nightmare, gets scared. That's why kids tend to wet the bed. So we know that fear causes dysfunction of the kidneys and bladder and actually adrenals. We heard if something's chasing after you, right? The fight or flight response, that's adrenals. We know if somebody, and so again, now here's the thing. If you have somebody though, Elizabeth, who's dealing with fear of failure, fear of not being accepted by others, fear of disappointing their parents or spouse, somebody had this fear, it will cause infertility. It will cause dysfunction of their reproductive organs. The emotion of worry. We know, have you ever heard anybody's worried so much they got an upset stomach because it affected their gut and digestion because they worried? That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Worry affects your upper GI, your upper digestive tract. The fact. So if you have this low-lying fear of you're worrying all the time, and also the emotions of trying to control others and situations, obsessing over things, they're forms of worry. Those will cause a weak spleen and pancreas and affect somebody carrying out a full pregnancy. And so again, and this isn't me just saying this from my clinical experience. This is over 3,000 years of ancient Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine and even biblical medicine that says when you have these emotions, it causes dysfunction in certain organs. In fact, even things like breast cancer. Why does somebody get breast cancer? And why would they get it on their left breast or their right and not their left? It all has to do with your yin and yang side of your body. It all has to do with the emotions you experience. It's worry plus, if it's on one side, it's you maybe aren't in touch with your femininity enough, or the other side, you're not. Anyway, it's just so many things. And just to go through a few more: grief, the emotion of grief, regret, a sense of loss. Maybe you went through a divorce or you lost a loved one. Grief will cause dysfunction of the immune system. It's your lungs and your colon. That's actually a big thing that leads to autoimmune disease. Hurt. If somebody was physically abused, sexually abused, bullied by bullies in the past, and they're holding on to the hurt inside of them, that will cause immune system issues. Unforgiveness is a combination of two. Unforgiveness is a combination of sort of resentment, which is a form of anger, and hurt that are combined, and unforgiveness will then cause dysfunction in two systems of your body, your entire liver and your detoxification system and your immune system. And so again, the emotion of anger, why do we call somebody an angry drunk? If somebody drinks too much hard liquor, it causes them to be angry.
It's their liver.
It's their liver. And then they'll have anger. Like these emotions are connected. And the last one here is the emotion of anxiety, like a high level of anxiety where they have an anxiety attack. That's the heart and the brain. It's that area of the body, and the heart and the brain. Think about blood pressure rising if somebody gets really worked up about something. So we know that emotions have a physiological effect on the body. And so if somebody is watching this podcast now and they're saying, you know what, I'm struggling with my fertility, or I'm struggling with these issues, I highly encourage you, follow the diet stuff that Elizabeth and I are talking about. But also, it is so critical that we care for ourselves emotionally, because these emotions sit inside of you. And here's the thought in Chinese medicine, and it's a fact, that if you have an emotion like unforgiveness, it causes things to get stuck in your body. Stuff stops moving. It literally is a toxic disease that builds in the organ and manifests physically. So healing these things is so critical to getting the root cause of disease and helping you heal your body of really anything.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you brought that up because I had written down mind, body, and spirit to talk about as part of healing. But I also see, talking about how emotions can affect your health, that a lot of people, what's happening though, is that they want things now. So it's like, okay, I'm ready to have a baby. We're going to have one now. And it's like, you have to give yourself time to prepare physically and emotionally and spiritually. And that was something that my husband and I went through too. I had something traumatic happen earlier this year and he was ready and I wasn't. I said, I need to go to counseling. And I went to counseling because I'm like, I am holding on to something and I need to let go of this before I enter that next phase because I didn't want to carry that into it. And now that you're talking about it, I'm so glad that I did, just because I felt, because the weight of it was so heavy, that it was going to affect me in pregnancy if I were to get pregnant. And so people have to give themselves the time to heal and prepare for these phases of life, because being in alignment spiritually, emotionally, and physically is so important.
It is. Yeah, it really is. And again, it's important to remember that emotions, if you're worrying or having, now you don't want to worry about worrying and you don't have to have fear about having fear. That's the other thing. You don't want to turn it, because one of my biggest, recommendations to patients in the past was, I'll give you an example. One patient who was working on fertility. And this was actually a friend of mine whose wife, and he's a doctor, and his wife was wanting to get pregnant. And here's what's interesting is you look at her diet, you thought she ate really healthy. She was on a full paleo diet. She ate like a lot of nuts and seeds, a lot of meat. And I told her, I looked at her diet and I said, you know what? Your diet is not ideal for what you have going on internally. I said, I said, grains aren't the villain. I said, sweet potatoes aren't, she was doing like no sugar ever. And I think for some people, and here's the thing to remember, there isn't one perfect diet for everybody. I think the keto diet for somebody who has major insulin issues and needs to lose weight as well, that can be great for their fertility for a period of time, but that really should be temporary. For most women looking to get pregnant and support their fertility, it should be eating a good amount of protein, some healthy fats, but it's moderation. And then, small amount of carbohydrates, but those carbohydrates again are butternut squash, sweet potato, oatmeal, those nourishing foods. And so I told her, I said, and she was a PhD. She was a professional counselor herself. And I said, I told her, Jennifer, and I said, hey, what you need to do right now is, number one, not think about getting pregnant. Number one. Which is so
hard. You tell people that and they're like, I've wanted this my whole life. I wanted to be a mom my whole life. How am I not supposed to think about it, And
she was type A as well, like determined. I'm going to get pregnant. I'm like, Jennifer, hey, just do this for me. I said, I want you to start, we're moving in the fall. I said, I want you to start, taking time in the morning. I want you to sit down by the fireplace with a cup of coffee or herbal tea, astragalus that I recommended, and just sit there and read. And that's the thing, that's pregnancy. So just imagine, that's the zone you want to get in for fertility. For the emotional zone fertility is, you're comforted, you're safe, you're protected. You're sitting in a giant love sack by the fireplace, reading a novel with Christmas carols in the background and the tree. I know that's not year round, but you get my point.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be, this state of just peace and comfort and just nourish you. That's the other thing. You want to just lightly just nourish yourself. That's the ideal zone emotionally for fertility.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a question. How do you feel about rice? Is that a good carb or no?
Yeah. So think about this. In Asian medicine, and I'll throw this out there, the longest living humans in the world today live in Japan, Okinawa. Mm-hmm. The number one food they eat every day
is rice.
Mm-hmm. So here's the deal, though. Rice isn't good. It's not bad. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
If somebody has severe Candida and they're looking to heal, I think they're better off doing pumpkin and squash as their greatest source of carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of bitter foods, because that dries up dampness. Candida is really actually easy to get rid of if somebody follows The problem is nobody knows how to treat Candida today. Doctors are like, here's an antibiotic.
Yeah.
The reason why people get Candida is your body is damp. Why does mold grow in a basement of a home or in your air ducts?
Mm-hmm.
Like we had flooding years ago in Nashville. All of a sudden there were all these mold problems. It was because there was flooding. There's dampness. How do you get rid of dampness, which is Candida? You dry it up. And so same as a cold or flu. If you have snot, mucus, phlegm, all this stuff, the herbs you should take are all super bitter. You ever really taste echinacea?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Oh
it's so bitter.
I'm taking
Same
a liquid
thing.
form of it right now, and I have to like mix it with water and shoot it like a shot and then chase it with something else. Yeah,
myrrh oil, thyme, just eating straight oregano leaf. Like these things, they're bitter. They taste bad. Bitter dries up dampness. When somebody has Candida, herbs like pau d'arco. And then you want to do a combination of warming herbs and drying herbs. That's how you get rid of Candida. So anyways, kind of almost forgot what we were talking about. But anyways, all that being said, it's going back to treating the root cause of why somebody has, this health problem in the first place. And what was your question?
I don't even remember now.
Okay.
Oh, rice, about rice. But also I know that they use a lot of other countries use fermented foods along with their meals that help digest as well. So I didn't know if that was why it might be.
Well, I'll give you an example too here. So most people haven't necessarily realized this, but let's go back to Okinawa because we were just talking about there. When you consume sushi, you consume raw fish, which is a cooling food, seaweed, which is a cooling food. These are really cooling foods. You have too many cooling foods, you're going to have diarrhea. You're going to have IBS over time. You're going to have digestive issues. You're going to get a cold. Why do we call it a cold today? It's ancient Chinese medicine. Your body's cold internally. What are all the herbs that help warm you up? Cinnamon, cayenne pepper, ginger, garlic, oregano. Everything you consume when you have a cold, it's all warming herbs and spices. So anyways, going back here, in China, when you consume sushi, you also consume wasabi and pickled ginger with the meal. Why is that? Is it just wasabi that tastes that great and ginger is this amazing? No, it's because wasabi is hot and ginger is warming.
Mm-hmm.
So you're balancing out. It's called food energetics. You're taking two cooling foods, two warming foods, and now you're going to meet right in the middle. Now it's a neutral food in terms of how it affects your body heat-wise. And the ginger is there to move your liver and digestive system. The wasabi is there to support your heart and cardiovascular system. The seaweed there and the fish are there to strengthen your water element, your adrenals, these different organs. So actually, even foods in ancient Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine, it was so thoughtful about what food you eat together. Like, here's another example, turmeric golden milk. 8 years ago, they came out with a study, our medical community, they said, we've had a scientific breakthrough. We found that when you consume turmeric with black pepper or the compound curcumin with piperine, it increases absorption of turmeric. And they were like, wow, what a medical breakthrough. The recipe for turmeric golden milk is 3,000 years old, and it's a combination of turmeric plus black pepper or a spice blend actually called tricketu, which is black pepper, ginger, long pepper, and then healthy fats. So they knew 3,000 years ago, these physicians, that when you consume turmeric, you should consume it with a warming spice and a healthy fat. Because every cell in your body is made of fat, it improves absorption. But that's the thing is, ancient Chinese medicine, these things I'm sharing and teaching right now, it is so much more accurate than our medical system today. Just because we're able to look at things at a microscopic level, we've missed the big picture perspective of how your body heals, what affects it. We try and put everybody in one bucket. Ancient Chinese medicine was all personalized. There's not one single diet that's perfect for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
People need to eat based on what their body needs, the way their body's wired, sometimes based on the season.
Mm-hmm.
All those things are factors.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And that's why I've always had a problem with fad diets, because anything, first of all, that limits vegetables, I don't agree with. If they're like, that counts as a carb against you, I'm like, no, it counts as a carb for me. Like, you can't limit vegetables. But I want to get into the keto diet. But before we jump into that, you had mentioned the golden milk. I want to talk about conventional milk today and why it might not be the best choice for us.
Yeah, so it comes down to this. So, and again, it depends on the person. Some people do great, some people don't do great with it. But here's the thing to know. Dairy is one of the most dampening foods, which is great if your body is really dried out internally. Earlier in our life, our body needs more moisture when you're an infant baby. Hence why, mothers produce breast milk. They need more of this moisture. As we age and get into our 70s and 80s and later on in life, we tend to be drier as well. So we need a little more moisture in our diet. When somebody's in their 20s and their 30s especially, and even teens, their body starts getting more damp. It's what I talked about earlier. There's more issues like Candida. There's mucus in their body. So they tend to need to eat a diet that's a little more dry. If somebody has Candida, if somebody has diabetes, if somebody has mucus or phlegm, if somebody has most digestive issues, those are almost always related to too much dampness in the body. And so dairy, for most people being very dampening, they're going to consume it. There's all of this excess moisture and phlegm and Candida and yeast. So they consume, their body's damp. They just loaded more dampness onto their body. And so now Candida gets worse. Dampness, digestive, gas, bloating, all these things get worse. So listen, dairy isn't a villain. People will throw out a blanket statement. All dairy. Now listen, do I think all conventional milk is bad? Yes. It's pasteurized. It's homogenized. So you affect the fats now aren't healthy. You skim it. You pull out the... So conventional milk is bad for everybody. But if we're talking about raw grass-fed goat's milk yogurt, it's good for a lot of people, especially people that have dryness. Or, hey, just middle of the road, they're going to do well. But if somebody has extreme dampness in their body, then they're better off staying away from most dairy.
Yeah. I know that I do okay with goat's milk with a little bit of goat cheese, but other than that, I can't do any dairy. It destroys me.
Yeah, I mean, goat's milk is the least dampening of dairy types because it has less fat. Like where sheep's milk and cow's milk is richer in fat, goat's milk is a little higher in protein. It's not quite as high in terms of its moisture content. So some people will tolerate that a little bit better. But here's the other thing. If you've ever gone to an Indian restaurant and had curry, historically it's been milk-based. But what's in curry? Anytime they use milk, they use warming and bitter herbs. Mm-hmm. Like curry is black pepper, things like paprika, it's turmeric. Those all have some slight bitterness to them. So when you're having that food, they knew in Ayurvedic medicine, if you have dairy, you got to have these herbs with it. Today, it's like, no, we're going to have dairy and then add sugar to it, which is also very dampening. And things like ice cream and flavored milks. And it's like, super, super bad for the body. So today, in ancient times, food was medicine. They understood this. Today, our Western medical system has no idea how to use food as medicine because doctors have never taken a single nutrition class ever.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like it's obviously the medical industry is needed, but you also have to treat the body as a whole. I don't know. I get so tired of seeing just symptoms being covered and then problems coming out later, Yeah,
and that's what it is. In fact, there are studies that show you can't take a single medication without a side effect. Right. Every medication, whether it's a thyroid medication, birth control. Actually, birth control is one of the worst medications somebody can take because of what it does in causing excess dampness. When women get off birth control, the amount of Candida, acne issues that they deal with are so severe because that entire time it's leaching certain B vitamins and nutrients from the body, and it's causing all of this deep mucus to build up in the body. It's crazy.
Yeah. I would love to talk about diet really quick. So I got your book on the keto diet. I was telling Dr. Axe before I brought him on, I love his company, Ancient Nutritions. We use his supplements, his vitamins, his collagen. And then, of course, I got your book because my husband, he had done keto. Oh, man, was it 2 years ago, a year ago? I don't remember now. And lately he's been saying, I want to do it again. And I'm like, okay, but we have to do it right, because I had actually heard you on the Almost 30 podcast talking about how you healed your mom with her cancer through Candida, but most people are doing it wrong. They're like, let's pour butter on top of the bacon, on top of whatever. And there's just so much craze out there about keto that I'm sure it has to drive you crazy.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, crazy is the least of it, but yes, it does.
Yeah, so I'd love for you to just kind of talk about, I guess, what are the benefits of doing that? And I know that there's also your book coming out about the collagen diet. Like, what are the benefits? Because that word diet to me, like, is like, ugh, but it's more of like a temporary lifestyle shift to make you healthier.
Yeah, I would say my book, Keto Diet, is really more about a temporary diet. Collagen is more of a lifetime diet, or a way of eating. And that's what diet means. It's the way you're eating. But keto, here's the thing to know about keto. Keto is meant to be done like a cleanse or a fast. In fact, in the 1920s at Johns Hopkins Medical Center, researchers were doing a study on children with epileptic seizures. What they found is that when they had these children fast, so not eat, seizures went away. So they said, we need to create a diet that mimics fasting. And they found when they removed carbohydrates, up the fat, and moderate protein, seizures went away. It was amazing for these kids, a breakthrough. I mean, the keto diet was amazing for saving and helping these kids. So going back, the diet is meant to be done like a fast or a cleanse for like 30 days. It's not, for most people, keto is not a lifetime diet. It's not the ideal. It isn't. It's not the ideal diet to do for a lifetime. But if somebody wants to lose weight quickly, support brain and neurological health, and balance insulin, fight diabetes, it's the best diet for that, for sure. According to medical studies. Here's the thing to remember. Different macronutrients affect different organs. Organs have to deal with them. So your stomach and your kidneys have to deal with protein. Okay? Your liver and gallbladder deal with fat. Your pancreas primarily deals with carbohydrates. Now, of all the macronutrients I just listed, the one that's most overconsumed is carbohydrates. So which organ is most taxed and worn out?
Yeah, your pancreas.
Pancreas. That's why the keto diet is so powerful for so many people, is you're taking 30 days off carbohydrates, and your pancreas, for the first time in maybe 10 years, is saying, whoa, I don't have to work. So what do I get to do now? I get to heal. Mm-hmm. I get to regenerate myself. I get to create new and healthy tissues. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's all it is. So you're essentially, it's why fasting works. It's why, here's the thing to remember. Food does not heal you. Turmeric doesn't heal you. Broccoli doesn't heal you. Your body heals itself. But if you have an area of your body working all the time, it can't heal. Your body is either working or protecting, or it's regenerating and healing. You can't do both at the same time. So again, and think about this. It's like, I would say the same thing. Like, I used to do triathlons and go out and work out a lot, and I couldn't eat a cheeseburger when I was out running because my body is working and all my blood goes to my brain and extremities. And so I can't do it at that time. It's the same thing. So the keto diet for some people is so powerful because they've overconsumed carbs their whole life. They're now taking a break, and their pancreas is literally regenerating. Those insulin receptor sites are now healing. And that's why it's been shown in medical studies to be so effective for polycystic ovary syndrome. It's been shown to be the most powerful diet for diabetes, the most powerful diet for weight loss, the most powerful diet for Alzheimer's. You know what they call Alzheimer's? Type 3 diabetes.
Oh, wow.
It's insulin. So again, anything that's insulin related, the keto diet's effective for, but it's a temporary diet, like a fast or cleanse. You do it 30 days, maximum 90 days. And then you start following a diet where you're keeping your carbs in check and you're eating quality carbs. Your carbs are coming from fruit, and your carbs are coming from, sweet potatoes and rice and, pumpkin and things like that. And then, so anyways, that's really the keto diet. And the other thing about keto diet is when you're on that, 50% of it should be vegetables. Mm-hmm. Loads of vegetables, loads of herbs and spices. loads of cinnamon, loads of turmeric, loads of ginger, kale, spinach, broccoli, asparagus, like loads of veggies. That's how you do the keto diet. And then you're doing some healthy fat from avocado. You're doing coconut. You're doing wild-caught salmon. That's the diet. Now, for the collagen diet, this is my new book, which is literally just coming out. And I'm so stoked about it. This is a diet that's going to be a lifetime diet. And my wife raves about this. My wife is in her 30s and looks like she's, they're like, are you 18?
I got to get on this diet stat.
So this diet is a regenerative diet. If you want to boost your body's own stem cells, if you want to look younger, feel younger, this is the diet. And so really, once you reach the age of 25 years old, every year after, your body produces less collagen. By the time somebody's in their 50s, they're producing 75% less collagen. So we have got to give our body collagen. Now, the most effective way to do this is getting collagen in your diet, but you also want to consume foods that support and work with collagen. Certain types of foods like goji berries and kiwis, amla berry, camu, doing things that are adaptogenic, things like ashwagandha. Certain types of green tea like matcha actually protects collagen degradation. And so I put together an entire diet plan. It's a 30-day plan, and I go through how to produce more collagen, how to get rid of wrinkles, fine lines, how to regenerate your joints if you've got joint pain and discomfort. So this is really a book for if somebody's looking to regenerate and heal. It's sort of the ultimate healing diet, and the book's called The Collagen Diet. It's in, bookstores nationwide. People can also just go to Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. But it's a book. We've had rave reviews already about it, so it's we're excited.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get that. So I've struggled with joint problems. So since I was in junior high, I ran track, and I was really good, and I had to go to physical therapy because my knees were hurting so bad. And they told me I have barely any tissue between my patella and femur, so they grind. Cartilage, that's what I was looking for. Between my patella and femur, so they grind. So I've always had knee issues, but I ran, so it was on my bucket list to run a half marathon, and I ran it in September. And when I first started, my knees were hurting. And you guys, this isn't just because Dr. Axe is on. I ordered his joint stuff, and
our collagen?
No, the actual joint, the Omega joint pills.
Oh, our Omega joint, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered those, and I was taking the collagen. I would put a collagen in my coffee every morning, but the Omega joint made such a difference. And I could notice, because I ran out once, and now I'm on auto ship, because when I ran out, I was like fine for a week. And then the next week, my joints were hurting again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to order it again, because it actually really, really helped. So I'm very grateful for your product, because I didn't think I'd be able to run it because of my knees. Like, I actually enjoy going for a run every once in a while, not so much as I've gotten older. I'd rather just go to the gym, and I'd rather just do a workout. But it was on my bucket list. And I went from like very slow couch to marathon. And I honestly, at the beginning, I was taping my knees. I was doing all sorts of stuff. And at the end, I didn't even need the tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. That's awesome. Yeah, those are two things I take. I have our Ancient Nutrition Omegas, and so it's the one that's good for joint, and then our multi-collagen protein. Anytime you're buying collagen, it should always say multi in the front. It's got more collagen, so you could Google or go to Amazon and just look up multi-collagen protein. But I mean, Chelsea and I have taken multi-collagen protein every day for 3 years since we came out with it. And I can tell you, man, I had a noticeable difference in my joints and my gut. And then Chelsea was saying, I mean, it too, like our nails are so thick and strong. Our hair, we notice, is thicker, skin healthier when we take it. So it's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to have to get on this collagen diet now, because my wrinkles are like my biggest insecurity. So when I was younger, I did Botox, and then I stopped because I honestly hated the way it changed my smile. I felt like, even though it was just like under my eyes, because I have laugh lines, and I didn't like the way it made me look. Like every single time I'd be like, just give me barely any. And I was like trying to get rid of my fine lines and wrinkles. And I wasn't ever happy with the results. And so I haven't done it for quite a while now. And it's so sweet. My husband's like, I love your laugh lines, and I'm like, you have to say that. But
I know.
But I mean, I do feel like just eating cleaner has helped a lot, and just taking good supplements that are supporting your body does make such a difference.
Yeah, I was going to say, my wife, she's a great person. If people want to know great skincare.
I'm going to bring her on for sure.
Yeah. So her handle on Instagram, it's just at Dr. Chelsea Axe. So it's at Dr. Chelsea Axe. But her mom is 55 and looks like she's 15 or 20 years younger. I mean, so her and her mom too, I mean, they use essential oils. They use certain types of things in their skincare, and they pretty much follow the collagen diet. I mean, it's what they follow, but it's amazing too. Like, when you, especially doing it when you're started as early in life as possible.
Yeah.
The earlier, you can start it, I think the better.
Yeah. I would love, before we end real quick, just for you to give a couple of quick tips and tricks for staying healthy this holiday season with children.
Yeah. I think anytime over the holidays, what I would recommend is, packing healthy snacks and trying to do smoothies in the morning, starting the day off right. Maybe lunch won't be perfect. Maybe dinner won't be perfect, but just try and nail breakfast. If you can't think about this, even if you get breakfast right, you got 1/3 of your diet right for the day. So we're big on this. So in fact, I just got done doing lunch with my sister and brother-in-law here at True Food Kitchen in Nashville. And then we're going hanging with my parents over the holidays in Florida. And my parents will have ready the smoothies. So I'll make them, or my sister or somebody will make it, the kids. And we just we take 1 cup of berries. We do 1 scoop of a vanilla collagen. It's multi-collagen protein, vanilla or chocolate flavor, and then coconut or almond milk, and it's what they have every day. So I think we kind of plan ahead that way. We'll buy these epic beef jerky bars. We buy collagen protein bars. We'll bring dried fruit. The other great thing is, there's a lot of, even in airports today, we'll buy apple chips, those types of things. So I think just planning, packing, being prepared ahead of time. If you're going to go out to eat, try and find a healthier restaurant or a Whole Foods market or something like that. And that's, I think that's the best, the best tips I could give.
Thank you so much. So where can people follow you and find out more about what you're doing?
Yeah. So you can follow me at my Instagram handle is at Dr. Josh Axe. So you can follow me. I'm posting all kinds of stuff on there. You can also follow my Facebook page, which is also Dr. Josh Axe. My website's draxe.com. And if you have any health condition and you're listening to this, let's say you've got arthritis of your knee or PCOS or hypothyroidism, just search online on Google, Dr. Axe hypothyroidism, Dr. Axe Lyme disease. And you'll find articles I've written on all those things that go through the top supplements, essential oils, and literally how to heal those things. So I would do that, and then also encourage everybody. Again, this new book is the one I'm most proud of. I think people love it. And again, they can just go on Amazon.com and order the collagen diet. But Elizabeth, I appreciate you having me on, and it was fun.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that you took the time to come on, and I cannot wait to get your wife on. Tell Chelsea she has to come on.
I'll tell her.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, everybody.
I'm so grateful to Dr. Axe for coming on and sharing his expertise, everything that he's learned, and helping us grow and learn together. I cannot wait to talk to Chelsea. She is so cool. I follow her on Instagram too. And I feel like she'd be such a great resource. I haven't had anybody on talking about beauty yet, which would be interesting to hear kind of from a natural perspective as well. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this episode and for tuning in. I know everybody's so busy this week. I mean, what is it? Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and there's just so much to do and so many things to get done. But don't forget to take time to just be present and be with your family or be with your friends and your loved ones, whoever you're with this season, and just really savor the moment. Don't be so concerned about capturing every moment for Instagram and trying to show everyone how great it is. Just be in it and experience it, and just make some memories, make memories with each other, and just really, really cherish. I feel like my memory is not that great anymore, but we're also constantly distracted. We're always distracted by our phones or just, we have a million things going on. So taking time to be in the moment is just so important. And this is the time of year that brings family together and memories. So just cherish that time. Don't forget to subscribe if you're listening. Share this with somebody who would love to hear about it. Follow us on Instagram at Miraculous Mamas and Twitter at Miraculous Mamas. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. The community of women there are just awesome. And I'm so grateful for them and love them so much. And I hope you guys have such an amazing holiday season. And don't forget to send me some New Year's resolutions. You can DM me at Miraculous Mamas on Instagram, and I will be sharing some of those with you guys this next week. But I will talk to you guys soon. Have a Merry Christmas.